A lot of people say that following the terrorist attacks on 9/11, America had initially a lot of international support around the world for
Yeah.
the war on terrorism.
Yeah.
How do you think these more recent events will reflect that and reflect that upon the Obama administration and how they're dealing with this?
Yeah.
Because, like you said, the way it's spun, some people are saying the way that Obama's dealing with this is he's being very submissive towards it, while other people are saying he's in the right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what is your opinion?
Well,
about that?
back to the first point. On 9/11, I think I told your class, I was in a place called Kyrgyzstan. I was in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, which is right next to. If you see the Kazakhstan up there in the middle, the third map there. You see Kazakhstan. Just below that is Uzbekistan, and just to the right of that is Kyrgyzstan. So I was right there on 9/11, and I was teaching at American University of Kyrgyzstan. And I actually had to leave on 9/17 because we had to be evacuated. They told us that we were going to be, because the war in Afghanistan was about to start the next month, October 7th. So we had to leave, and I went from Kyrgyzstan to Istanbul, Turkey. I went to Turkey for a few days, and I went to Romania where I spent the rest of the year. I was on sabbatical leave from here that year. And it's funny because everywhere I went, it was, oh, you're American. I mean, like the next day, I go to my campus, American University of Kyrgyzstan, and I had my Kyrgyz students. My students were from Kyrgyzstan. They were Russian, and they were all, oh, you're American. We feel so bad, and I was everywhere I went in Turkey and Istanbul. They were, oh, you're American. We'll comp you a room for the night at the hotel. And but this is where I stayed in this hotel, right here. Right here, it's in Istanbul there, as it turns out. And I think I stayed for, I don't know, a week or something. They comped me a couple of nights. Everywhere I went, literally, it's like, our horse go out to you because you're American. All right. And then Bush administration basically squandered that because their attitude was, an arrogant attitude. It was, it was like, we're right and you're wrong, and unless you go along with what we want to do, we're not going to side with you. And Bush's attitude was, he wanted to build these coalitions of the willing, and basically it was coalitions of people willing to go along with what the U.S. dictated, and without a whole lot of real consultation. So that's when our image around the world really went down the tubes. I mean, Bush would not appear anywhere publicly around the world. Whenever he would travel around the world, he wouldn't go to any kind of open meetings, except in Eastern Europe. Because I spent a lot of time in Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe, they still loved him because he brought him into NATO, but he wouldn't go to England. He wouldn't go to France, because they were okay. So Obama comes along, and Obama's big thing is pressing the reset button. That was a term they used, pressing the reset button. We're going to reset our relations around the world. Right. And when Obama came to office, initially, I think a lot of people around the world saw Obama as being, first of all, they felt like, the United States elected a black president, and that warmed a lot of people's hearts. I mean, forget about politics and all that. Just the fact that we seem to have come that far, that made a lot of people feel good about themselves. Okay. And feel good about that we were in that kind of world, and feel good about what Obama's seen to represent in the way of hope and change and all that. Then a few years go along, that he's the same as the rest of them. He took this. He basically got a lot of the same people that were working for Bush, the same economic team. I mean, really the same people that were advising. You too. A good day. What do you mean a good day?
What's that?
Oh, that's right. You're not my next class. Okay, all right. You're okay. I thought you were my next class. He brought the same team in, and he hasn't closed Guantanamo Bay. The United States still has a presence in Afghanistan, although there's a withdrawal set for a couple of years from now. And the de-escalation in Iraq. So I think a lot of people around the world are, they feel betrayed. Do you guys know I was in Tanzania?
Actually,
I was in Tanzania. As a matter of fact, there's a. If you want to look at this, there's a. I was in Tanzania last. Here, I'll give you this. I was in Tanzania last summer. Let me take this with you. This tells you what I was doing. But there was a Sundial article. I went there for the Department of State. It was you can take that with you. And if you Google, there were actually several Sundial articles about it.